This story was updated at 12:55 p.m. on Thursday, Feb. 15, 2018 to reflect new official weight for Hardy and Fine, UNCASVILLE, Con. MMA Junkie was on scene and reporting live from today's early and official Bellator 194 fighter weigh-ins, where all competitors made weight for Friday's card. In the main event, Roy Nelson, 22-14 MMA, 1-0 BMMA, and Matt Mitrione, 12-5 MMA, 3-0 BMMA, fight as part of the opening round of Bellator's Grand Prix heavyweight tournament. Their opening round matchup is a rematch from a fight in the UFC more than 5 years ago, which Nelson won by first-round knockout. This time, Mitrione is about a 2-1 favorite against Nelson, and also is the oddsmakers' favorite to win the tournament and the vacant Bellator heavyweight title. Nelson was 265 pounds, he'll have a 10-pound advantage as of today, against Mitrione, who was 255. There was some belated controversy for the women's flyweight bout between Heather Hardy, 1-1 MMA, 1-1 BMMA, and Anna Juliton, 2-3 MMA, 0-1 BMMA. However, both fighters weighed in early in the proceedings, which were overseen by the Mohegan Tribe Department of Athletic Regulation, headed by President Mike Mazzulli. Juliton was on weight at 125 pounds. A couple minutes later, Hardy stepped on the scale and was announced at 126.2. Mazzulli didn't call for the towel, though. Hardy still had a two-piece on. Hardy left the scale, exclaimed excitement to her corner that she had made weight, and Liam McGeary came to the scale to continue the lineup of fighters stepping on. Because Hardy left the scale apparently believing she had made weight, she began the rehydration process, likely not thinking that there would be any behind-the-scenes wrangling over her weight, and not thinking she'd need to use the 2 hours a wait for a towel to be brought out. Instead, she found out after the fact that her official weight was 126.25 pounds, and 20% of her purse was heading Juliton's direction on Friday night. But Mazzulli today told MMA Junkie that he never told Hardy her weight was good, and made the decision when she was on the scale that in the interest of fighter safety, he wasn't going to allow her to cut additional weight, or even to strip down with the use of the towel. It was never said she was good, Mazzulli told MMA Junkie. She got on the scale, and she was 126.25, she was a quarter pound over. At that point, I explained to her, after evaluating her and seeing how she was, that she was not going to lose any more. The fight's not going to happen. If she has to lose any more, I'll cancel the fight. Fighter safety is the most important at Mohegan, and I make sure of it. Quote, I evaluated her and I felt I didn't even want her to remove her clothes to use the towel, because at that point she wasn't even speaking to me on the scale. I made the decision as the commissioner that I wasn't going to put her on the scale with no clothes on. That's how concerned I was about her. And my doctors will re-evaluate her tonight at the ceremonial weigh-in as well. I explained to her, on the scale, that she did not, that she was over a quarter pound, but I was not going to allow her to lose any more weight. I explained to her, I'm not even going to have you remove your clothes, because at this point you can't even speak to me coherently. That concerns me. The early weigh-ins took place at Mohegan Sun in Uncasville, Con. and preceded the ceremonial weigh-ins for the fans, which take place at 5 p.m. ET at Mohegan Sun. The same venue hosts Friday's event, which has a main card on Paramount following prelims on MMA Junkie. The full Bellator 194 weigh-in results included: main card, Paramount, 9 p.m. ET, Roy Nelson, 265 vs. Matt Mitrione, 255, Derek Campos, 154 vs. Patricky Fryer, 155, Liam McGeary, 203.75 vs. Vadim Nemkov, 205, Heather Hardy *, 126.25 vs. Anna Juliton, 125, Tywin Claxton, 145 vs. Jose Perez, 142, preliminary card, MMA Junkie, 7 p.m. ET, Pat Casey, 155.5 vs. Taylor Hamilton, 154.5, Peter Nascimento, 163.5 vs. Castriot X Hamer, 164.5, 165-pound catchweight, Dean Hancock, 155.25 vs. Marcus Surin, 156, Walter Howard, 203 vs. Jared Trice, 205.5, Regivaldo Carvalho, 145 vs. Tom English, 146, Mike Kimball, 135.75 vs. Jeffrey Then, 135, Roni Arana Leon, 156 vs. Ross Richardson, 155.5, Cardi missed weight and was fined 20% of her purse, which goes to Julitin. For more on Bellator 194, check out the MMA Rumors section of the site.